Okay, all right. Good afternoon once again to everyone. And in this session, we are going to discuss week 5 problems from within the uh, problems that I mentioned for system commands, as well as I think those problems will be available in the Linux shell course also. So those students who have joined through, like those who are doing Linux shell course may use the CS1102 course ID while navigating to this directory. So we'll start with OPT SE2001. So for Linux, it will be CS1102 as usual. And then we'll see all the problems. So practice 4.8 up until 4.8 we had done in the previous session. So I plan to
Mm.
do 4.9 and 4.10 in this one. So that'll finish for week 4. And then we're going to start with practice 5.1 subsequently do as much
PPA have we done?
as we can cover. Yeah, for week 5 also you got PPAs, right? So how many are there? One. Okay, there are quite a few PPAs, right? 5.7, I think, until this. Okay, so you can do either way. Either we can start with practice first and then finish and then come back to PPA. I think that'll take a long time. Or you can start with PPA first and then move to practice questions. So either way it will
Well,
work.
the second one is better, like PPA first we complete and then we can do practice, right?
Sure, sure. All right, so that's what we'll do. But before that, we have to finish 4.9 and 4.10 as well, right? So that will begin with. Okay. So again, I'm going to my home folder SE2001 and not sure if the directory is already there. So I'll create that for 4.9 and okay, it's already there. So I'll just navigate to it and synchro show. Okay, let me clear this. Synchro show again. Okay, so I'll just go through the problem statement and then we'll have some time to solve this one. This one will require a little bit of, we have to be careful about the regular expression actually. That is the thing. Okay, we have to match it precisely. If you've done that, then rest of it won't be a problem. So you can do that easily. The only thing that you need to be careful about is the specification that is given there for the lines, like what kind of pattern you need. Okay, and the other thing is, since special characters are involved, right, because we are going to match some code segments, right? So void main seems like a C code, right? And so on and so forth. So you have braces and brackets and all that. So you have to be again careful about the escape, like whether you're escaping the regular expression correctly and or not, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that idea, with this in mind, we'll begin. So okay, so it says when we are going to write it in script.sh, that is one thing. It says to list the name of all the C++ files with the extension .cpp. So that is what we're going to match with in the current directory, which contains a line such that. Okay, so the thing is, we have to search for C++ files that have in their content, the specification that matches here. Okay, so that is the idea. We have to look within the file. Okay, it's not in the file name, rather what is there in the file, and accordingly we will list out those files. Okay, so that is the idea. And it says the specification is
So
the
can you
line
repeat
starts.
what you just said? Means what we have to do?
Yeah, okay, so I'll go through that again. It says you have to write a bash script, okay, to list the names of all the C++ files, okay, in the current directory which contains a line such that. So the idea is, so far we've been just doing, on the file name, right? So we do grep and so on and so
Mm.
forth on the file name, and then we filter on based on that. So that also we have to do, because it says you have to look for C++ files. Now, it might be that there are other files also, JavaScript files or any other files, right? But we have to match on a particular extension. So that is one thing, .cpp, which is for C++ files. And not only that, that is one part. The next part says we have to only list down the files which are having so and so content, like which matches within the file, right? So it is as if you've got a C++ file and inside of which some code is there. So only files which are having a specific code, you're going to match only that, right, inside of that file, and give out the file name for that. That is the idea. So it is not on the file name, rather in the file content that we have to match. Okay, I think we have to use
Okay.
the find command for that. Okay, so yes, I'll give some time on this one and then we'll discuss the solution. And it says we have to do synchro init so as to get the files as well, right? So yeah, so this is the structure. You have so many files, right? Now amongst these files, there are some file which will satisfy the criteria. Okay, some of them. So only those which are satisfying the criteria you have to match. In this case, however, one thing is you're only having the okay, no. So we have CP file also, right? So this one we can't match. We are specifically looking for C++, right? So a .cpp file is what we have to match, right? So this one we should not be matching. So that is one part of it. This one is easy. The first part is easy. You just have to filter on the extension. The other is slightly more involved. It says you have to look within the content and then accordingly filter out. Okay. So yeah, that's what we will do. So we'll have, let's say, 5 to 8 minutes on this, and then we'll describe the solution for this. So meanwhile, could somebody please check and confirm if the YouTube live stream is working properly? I've pasted the link in the chat box.
Yes, it's working properly.
Thanks, Ananya.
Yes, sir, it's working.
All right. Thanks, Pranendo. Yeah.
So first line will be the ls, right? ls star dot cpp.
Yeah. Sorry, Pranendo. I was on mute. What was the question again?
The first line will be ls, means like the first command will be ls star dot cpp, right? To get all the cpp files filtering out. First of all.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it in two ways. So in the find command also you can give the filter. That is one way of doing it. Or you can do it the way you are saying. So once first on the first level you filter on the CPP files, and then you pipe it to basically the find command and so on. I mean, you have to make it in such a way that the find command does not pick up the uh, CP files. So that's the area. The other thing you can do is maybe okay. So you have to do it in the
So
current working directory
I'm
only.
using grep and also find the CPP file by doing ls minus l, then cut up by the delimiter of space, then select the file F9 and then the grep.
Okay. Okay. All right. But not that you have to do it for all the files, right? Are you sure that grep will work in this case? Because you have to list all the files which are matching. Right. So if you do it on one file, then will it match? Okay. So
Can we
perhaps you
do
can
the
do it.
first part of ls minus l and then pipe it to egrep minus o dot cpp at the end?
Hmm. Yeah, that you can do. The first part you can do with this. Yes. So there's a question one student is asking for Linux, what should we follow? Can you elaborate on that question, please? Whoever has asked that on the chat box.
Sir, this is for system commands, right? I'm from Introduction to Linux, so
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
sure. So I'll go through that part again. So what happens for Linux shell students is your course code only will change, right? Rest of the things remain the same. So okay. So let me just quickly go back. So what happens is all the problems we are looking up from /opt/se
Sir, I
2001.
joined. Yeah, I did
Hmm.
CDOPT CS1102 and I've reached the questions. Okay, now I have to do it myself, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you have to do practice 4.9, and that you have to do in the home folder and CS1102 in your case. I mean that's where
Okay,
you
sir.
put it, right?
Yeah.
And then so
If
on and
there
so forth.
is any like doubts or queries, am I supposed to ask here? Is it fine?
Yeah, certainly. Why not? I mean that's why we are here. Okay, all right. All
That's
right.
what I was doubtful, sir. Yeah, thank you.
No, it's okay. Fine. Yeah, you can just unmute and ask or put in the chat box. Yeah.
Sure,
Either
sir.
way.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Okay, here we are doing it in SE 2001 because I am having that VM at the moment, so I'm using this, and then so under that I have this 4.9 and 4.10. So actually we are going to do week 5, but since from the previous week these two questions were remaining 4.9 and 4.10, we could not do it, so we are just finishing these two and then we'll quickly move on to week 5. So this session is primarily for week 5. Okay, so here it is. And so for those of you who joined recently, I'll just give a few more minutes so that you could solve it and attempt it. All right. So shall we go ahead, or would you like to have some more time on this? Okay. All right. So then we'll discuss at 2:18 maybe. Yeah, 3 more minutes. Okay. So Karthikeyan is asking, where can we find Saturday's YouTube sessions so that you can find on the channel? Okay, so in fact, I'll just paste the link for the channel. Therein you can find all the live streams that happened so far. Streams, yeah, this one. Okay, just copy that. Yeah, I pasted the link to the channel. In it, you'll find all the live sessions. Okay, so we are going ahead with this problem. Okay, so there are two steps to it. Okay, so I mean the script is going to be multi-line. There are several things that we need to do. Okay, so we'll just go through it step by step and try to understand how to approach it. So first part, I think most of you got it correctly. First thing is that you have to somehow filter on the only the CPP file. So the easiest way to do that is to just, so if you do ls, what happens is you get all the files, right? Including the ones which we don't need. So for example, this one we don't need, right? So what we do then is just say ls *cpp. Now what it'll do, it'll filter it out for you, right? So this is, I mean, very basic first part of it, right? We just filter on the C++ files that way. Okay. Now, assuming that I am having these files are multiple files, by the way, but assume that one of the files are there, right? So let's say 1.cpp is there. What will we do to find within the file a specific pattern? So it says this, right? So first of all, let's get that regular expression right. Okay, once we get that, then we'll put that directly in the script, right? So we are not unsure of the regular expression. Okay, we'll just try it out here, make sure that it matches correctly, and then only we'll move to the script. Okay, so this part we'll just make it very precise. So it says the line starts with the string. Okay, so it says start. So assume that, okay, assume that I'm going to search for it in 1.cpp, for example. So what I'll do is I can do cat also. That's fine. I can either do cat, or in grep itself you can provide the file name, right? What happens is in grep you do it like this. You provide the expression, whatever regular expression you have. So let's say exp, and then you provide the file name. Okay, so whatever file you have. So like this 1.cpp. So it will try to match that expression in that file. Okay, so we are trying to understand the solution stepwise. So assume that I have the file name with me, and I want to just for one file I want to match the pattern. What I'll do is I'll just do grep and then give the file name like this. So the pattern says starts with the string void, right? It's void main. So it is going to like be something like this, right? So I'm just trying to understand and build it. So void and void main, okay, and ends with the character this. There should be one or more spaces between the characters this and that. So this one in the curly bracket, between it you can have a space, and in the in this square bracket also. So it is going to be something like this, right? Void space, and I think between this you don't have multiple spaces. So I'll assume it that it is correct. Okay, now I can have multiple spaces, right? So I could just say main. So I'll use the extended regular expression. So I'll just do minus e. Can either do minus capital E, or you can do e grep. Both of them are same basically. So grep minus e, void main, and then I can have a space, right? So a space multiple times there could be one or more times there could be a space, and then I have this thing bracket, and then what happens after that? I have this opening thing, right? So first of all you have void, then the function name, then the bracket, right, like this, and between it also you can have a space, and then you have these two curly brackets. You can have a space uh, in between these two brackets you have. So what I'll do is I'll say again, can have a space one or more times. I hope this is correct, the correct class. Okay, one or more times, and then I'm going to have this bracket, the curly bracket ends with the character. So it says it ends with the character. So I'm going to match with this line, which is ending with that, right? I mean, after that, nothing should be there, but nothing except a space. So after this, you can have a space, but it should end.
After void main, where is the space? It's void main directly brackets, right?
Yeah, but it says also no that there could be spaces between these characters. This
No,
and
between curly bracket and the closing bracket. But
closing bracket, is
after
it?
main, there is no space. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll assume that as well. I mean, it's okay. Anyway, even if you have a space, it'll take it. If you don't have it, it'll take it either way. But for now, we'll just remove it. Okay. So make it simpler. So we are saying we're going to start with void main, and after main, like meaning this closing bracket, we can have a space. That's okay. One or more times, right? Uh, Rather, we'll make it optional, right? So just do a star. Star says 0 or more occurrences. Okay. Plus says 1 or more. So if you do plus, it'll make it a mandatory thing to have a space. But if you're saying star, as I did just now, it will say 0 or more. So even if it is 0, if there are no spaces also, it's fine. Okay. And then we'll say, so it says you have to have specifically a space, because this one is saying it's not matching, right? After this, we don't have it, so are not a match for the above condition. So it's better to then put plus. Okay. After this, we have it, and okay. And after this, you can have a space, right? After the opening curly bracket, you can still have a space after it. So assume that I'm going to have a space after it. Okay, what the next part says, for example, the lines void main, this one is not matching. Okay, this one is not matching because you don't have a space between the closing round bracket and the opening curly bracket. So you have to have. And this one is also not matching because, yeah, one more thing is that it should end with that, right? So yeah, space 0 more times and then it ends. One or more times and then it ends, because after it should not have any other character. You can have spaces, but you cannot have any more thing after that. So for example, this one is not matching because you are having this, but after that you are having closing immediately, so that is not permissible. Okay, and the lines, yeah, this one is a match because after it ends, right? So you see that, yeah. So here you have a space, here also you have a space. This is what we're going to match, and this is also a match. Fine. After it is a space also. Fine. So this is what the pattern is. Hopefully it is correct only. Yeah. So to have uh, double square brackets for the character class. Okay. So I'm not sure if this pattern exists in this file or not. So in this case, it doesn't give anything. Let us try another file. So for one of them, at least it should match, right? If the pattern is correct, then it should
So
match.
you can do cat uh, multi
Yeah, I can
dot cpp then t then this.
for all of them. Is it together?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's do that. So cat strict dot cpp. And I'm going to type it. It is not matching. I mean, I think the pattern that we have given is something wrong in the pattern, possibly.
It
Therefore,
was
it is not.
match.
Sir, after curly bracket, I think there is not any space.
There is no this one.
No, if you see the first line of the question,
Mm-hmm.
it's given like that only, actually, I think.
End with the character this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No, but
Can
it
you
says there should be one or more
Dollar
spaces
US,
as
right?
between the characters and this one and that one, right? It says it is there. So it means it is there. Okay, we'll just rectify it. I think there's some problem in the regular expression that I've given. I just correct that.
Sir, I
So
have
yeah,
a
this part
question.
is okay. Mm-hmm.
can
Go
you
on.
remove that uh, power sign before y? Because it's not strictly mentioned that it should be started from y.
Okay. Okay.
Sir,
No, no,
basically
it
what
says line starts with the string void main, no? So you have to have it, I think.
So, but there
But
is a
where is
space
oh, that's
before
right.
void.
there is a space before void, right? Also, I think, but I think it is not. It's not considering that as space. I think because you have to start directly with void. I mean, I
Like
understand in this. In this you have it, but let me think about it. So okay, fine. So assuming that I can have one or more spaces here. Right.
Sir, I
Um.
think that space which is mentioned in the question, and that is
hmm.
between the closed bracket and the curly bracket, but not after the curly bracket.
Oh, not here, is it? Okay,
Yeah,
just
it's
let me do
after
one thing. Meanwhile, I'll just, for the time being, I'll just um replace the plus with the star so that it matches all of it. Okay. Do one thing. Let us have one file first of all. We'll go step by step. Okay.
Please go step by step. It's very fast. Means actually you are creating
Yeah, yeah.
this sentence, right? So it's very hard to understand what you are doing. Means I understand
Hmm.
the basic part, but
Yeah, yeah.
still visuals will be very good. Like
So
if we
see,
go.
this one will not match anyway, right? One. So I'm just looking through all the files and figuring out what all is there. So this one will not match because you don't have the bracket, right? It's not supposed to match. Two will match. No, two will also will two match. So it says, one
It's
thing.
ending with
One thing it says that there should be one or more spaces. So it must not match. This one will not match, right? Void main, and immediately after the closing bracket, you have the opening, right? Without a space. So this one should not match. So accordingly, this one will not match, right? So then the third
but
one.
the closing is also not there na, in the 2.cpp.
Closing is not there, but I think we are not concerned about that, are we? We aren't concerned about that, I think, because it just says we should not be ending, just match it like that. That is okay. Three also have the same problem, right? So you got round bracket, and immediately after that you have it. So this will not match also.
And main is
What
5
about
will
four?
match.
Five will match, right? Yeah, five will match. Okay. Okay, so let us try on five then. So what I'm saying is, again, I'll just go through that again. So it says I have the extended regular expression. Okay, I'm going to just begin with void main. That's the first part of it. Just let us understand all of it
so
carefully.
what will
So
minus e will do?
this one is this is just making it extended regular expression. So you can if you don't want to give that, you can just do e grep as well. The same thing, or you can do it without extended regular expression also. That is also fine in this case. But since I'm going to use some character classes and so on and so forth, so I just thought I just use extended version. That is okay. So therefore, I was
Still,
using
it
capital
is
E.
not catching the brackets. I guess we need to add a escape literal in that there so that it can catch
Right, right, right. In this case, it is not catching, so you have to make it like this, right?
it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that was one issue. And then what I'm saying is, so I'm just matching on five. After this, there are supposed to be some space. In fact, there should be at least one space. So I'll just say space plus. So that's zero or one. I think it matches. So after that you're gonna have opening, right? Yeah, this one matches, right? So
Sir,
I'm matching the space, and after that, the opening.
Sir, but
sir,
it can
here
be optional there.
when
No?
you did cat 3.cpp, why there is a closing curly braces at the start of the statement?
Here,
Yeah,
no, that closing is coming from here actually. The earlier print.
Yes.
okay.
You
So
understand
that
what is
means
happening? Yeah.
it has closing. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, the earlier file 2.cpp has closing, but it is not having the new line at the end. Therefore, immediately
got
after, yeah. So
okay, okay.
immediately after it finished, the other one started. Okay. So far it is good. So we'll continue on this. So yeah, you are saying, Punendra, that it could be optional, is it?
Yes, yes,
No,
sir.
no.
Right.
The reason, yeah, I understand your concern. The reason I'm saying it is not optional is because it is saying, no, it's saying there should be one or more spaces. I mean, it should be there.
But if you see the example, just see a void main, and then
Hmm?
there is a space,
Hmm?
and here there is no space. So that's why I was concerned.
Yeah, yeah. So
There is
okay.
no space in between. And here we have just below that void main, there is a space.
Yeah, exactly. So it says void mean with a space are a match. And this is a match, right? This one is
Hmm.
not a match. It says are not a match. You see? Void
Okay.
mean without the space are not a match for the above
Okay.
condition. But the lines, this ones are a match, right? So that's
Hmm.
why we are having. Okay, fine. And then I have the opening bracket. So it says after opening we can also have a space, right? So I'll just say that.
Hmm.
And I think, do we need to escape this one also? No, since we are using egrep, I think it should be okay. Fine.
But when
So
you see the actual file,
hmm.
there are some files which is not having space, right? After the brace, closing braces and the parenthesis. You did cat 3. Cat 3,
They
cat
will
This
be
one.
ignored.
yeah.
Yeah, this one
Cat
will be ignored.
3.
This one will not match. Okay,
Okay.
because of this condition, it
Okay,
says no,
okay. It will not match. Okay.
not match.
It's
It's
like
not match.
okay, okay.
Ah,
Got it. Yeah.
fine, fine. Okay. So, and
We
this is
can
good
use
too. I mean,
slash s for the space. So it will help.
we can make it slash s also, so it will just okay. Let us do that. It will make it smaller, right? One or more spaces like
Hmm.
that. No, not optional. In fact, after this we should have. So okay, fine. So, is it okay? Yeah, it's matching still. So again, void main, this slash we're just giving so that we escape the bracket, so that in
This
bash it isn't
slash yes, what does it mean? Slash yes.
space. So either you do a space or
Okay.
slashes. Slash is a space. Okay.
Okay.
Slashes is also a space.
Yeah, slash is also a space. That's what. Okay. And what else? Yeah. So and then again after the bracket you can have one or more space. I think this will match. But then one more condition we are missing, right? After this, after the after the opening
There is
curly
an
bracket,
ending parenthesis,
yeah,
right?
there should be end. I mean, there should not be after it anything. So the thing is, when we do this, it fails because for this one it fails because you got a comment there after that. It should not, it should not be on the same line. So that is the idea. Let us try with something else. So 6. Yeah, this one also will not
Seven,
match
eight,
because
and 9. You can try anyone.
yeah, 7 will match, 8 will match also. Yes, thanks. And 9 will also match. So yeah, okay. So let us go with 7. Um, okay, 7 does not match also. No, I think do we need to escape this? Okay, for 7 it is not matching. Why? Void main is there. We have multiple spaces and then opening bracket. Oh, this one will make it optional. I think this.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, okay. So the last space after the opening bracket, there can be a space or there cannot be any space. Okay, this is not mandatory. The late the later part of the how do you put it? The second space, that is. So the first one is mandatory. You can have one or more, but the next one is not mandatory. Therefore, we made a star saying that it could be 0 or more. Okay. Hopefully it is clear. So 7 matches. 8 will match as well. Yes. 9 also will match. But then one more thing is, so in this case, I think uh,
It should be at end, sir.
yeah, it should be end. So for example, if we match 5, 5 should not match, but 5 is matching currently. So what we'll do is we put a dollar saying that, indicating that we want to end after that. So then 5 will not match, but 7, 8 and 9 will still match. Yeah, thanks for that. I think that suffices. So with this clear, with this part clear, I think
Sir, we can replace that slashes with a space character as well, right? Because you just said that we can have a space, right? I'm just asking, don't do that.
no,
That's
I mean, I want to just try it out also. Yeah, apparently it works. Okay, okay, fine. No, it is better to make it explicit so that it's somewhat readable also. Otherwise, you know,
that's why I
I
use
mean,
space
yeah,
character.
yeah. You just make it slashes or just do a space, the character class. That also works. Okay, fine. So this part is clear. We are quite sure that this is the regular expression that we need to match. Now, coming back to the other part. So script.sh will create, that's okay. CPP files, so this is okay, right? So ls, what happens is you got all the files, but since we need to only filter on .cpp, so we'll have ls *.cpp so that it filters only that. Okay. Once this is done, so what we have to do is we have to match and then print the file name. So with grep, what happens? If you are doing grep, so assume that I have the file name. So let's say I'm going through 9, for example, right? So once I do grep, it will just print this, but I don't want this in the output, right? I I just want to print the file name and not this. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just do q minus q. So minus q, what it does, it makes it quiet. So it will not print anything. It will just match, and according to the result, like the return code, we will have a if condition because we are going to write a script, right? Bash script. So this query, this egrep minus q, this one we can put in a if statement. If it succeeds, meaning if the match is successful, then we'll print the file name because we already have it. If it is not successful, then we'll not print the file name. So that is the idea. So basically, you need a for loop, and accordingly. So what we're doing is, again, we need a for loop. We'll loop through all the ls*.cpp files, all the files here, and run egrep minus q on all of them. So because we have the file name, right? So instead of 9.cpp, we will give the variable file. Okay, whatever
This
name.
egrep, when we use, we say we
Hmm?
don't need the slash, right? But why we use the slash?
Yeah, because you're doing it in the context of the bash interpreter, like meaning on the bash, on the terminal itself, you're doing it, right? So here, sometimes you need to still escape it because it's not a script. Maybe if you do it in a script, then you need not escape. Okay. Certain special characters in certain situations, you had to still escape it because the reason is there are several layers, so to speak, right? So first layer is that of bash because that's where I'm putting the commands, right? So once I put something, the first thing it passes through is the bash interpreter. So if the bash interpreter itself interprets it, it has something. So for example, if for example, so if I'm saying this 1 dot dot 5, now what happens is, right, so 1 dot dot 5 will be expanded by bash. This is something that bash is doing, right? Assume that I want to pass dot dot 5 as it is, then I need to escape it, right, and so on and so forth. So that's the idea, because this opening curly bracket is interpreted by bash before it even goes to egrep. Before it even goes there, it will just be interpreted by bash. So to escape that also, we have to escape it, and then within grep, there are special characters also. So for that, if you're using extended regular expression, then some of them you need not escape, but still there are some, so it depends on the context, right? If you're doing it in the terminal, it might be different. If you're doing in the script, there are certain characters that you need not escape if you're using extended. So once we'll move it to the bash script, then we'll try to understand when you need to escape and when you don't need to. Okay, that
Sir,
is
I
that.
have a thing. I was just checking the egrep manual, and
Mm-hmm.
it says that with -L files, it will just suppress the normal output and instant print the name of each input file from which output would normally have been printed.
Oh, capital L is it?
Small l, small l.
Like this. Okay.
Capital
So
is
yeah,
just device.
this one we can also use because it will straight away print. So my approach was to go through all the files
Mhm.
because we are doing bash script, and then for all of them where the result is successful, I'll just print it. But since you already have that argument, this is much easier, right? So then yes, basically we'll pass through all the files, and for whatever it matches, it'll say. So let us try with all the files. Will it work? So what if we do asterisk.cpp? Okay. Yeah. So that's it. It matches. So I'm giving the pattern. I'm just saying, I'm just giving all the CPP files, right?
Can
And
we do
wherever
this
it
like
matches.
this? That
Hmm.
egrep -L star
Hmm.
dot cpp means
No,
like move it. We can't do
no,
now.
we can't because in the egrep itself, if you see the manual, right? So it says option comes first, and this is option. L is option. Then patterns, whatever patterns you have. So I have option first. All the options will come here, the first part. Second part is that of pattern, right? So I have the pattern, and then last part you have the file, right? So if you move it here, this asterisk.cpp will become the option or the pattern and so on. So last thing you have to give the file. Okay, is that okay? uh, yeah, so this suffices actually. Just printing the file name, and it's a very useful argument. Yeah, files
Sure,
with matches.
but how to do it using the for loop that you showed, right? The script.
Yeah, for loop also you can do. So what happens is, yeah, for that I'll have to write that down. So let us have this one first, okay, and then I'll describe the other approach also.
Sir,
So yes,
sir,
go on, please.
please explain that, sir. I couldn't understand, sir. That
This one.
void main
Hmm?
backstroke. How you got yes, yes in that, sir? What is that? S stands for, sir?
Ace is space. Okay.
Here once, yes, sir. And yes, sir. Please explain once again, sir.
Okay, I'll explain once again. Okay, fine. No worries.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the output. What happens is L we are giving just to say, just to ask egrep to print the file names only and not the match. Not the matches. So if you don't have L, for example, I'll just contrast it. So here everywhere it matches, it'll just print it like this, right? Every match is being printed. For 7, you have this match. For 8, you have this match. For 9, you have this match, and so on and so forth. Okay, but I just want to get the file name, so I'll just say -L. So that part is okay, I think. Asterisk.cpp we are giving because it said we have to match only on the CPP files. So since you're already giving a file pattern, basically we are saying asterisk.cpp, so it by default matches only on those files. That is okay. Last part is okay. This one is the regular expression, what we have to match. So we are saying the line we are trying to match should start with void main, this part, and then it should have brackets. So what we are matching is this actually, void main, like this. Okay, since round brackets have a special meaning in the mash scripts, you have to escape it. Okay, so yeah, we are escaping it like this. We are making it literally bracket and not to be interpreted, okay, in other meaning. Okay, so it will not be interpreted
Okay.
as special character, rather
Okay.
we are just giving like that.
Okay.
Then we are saying a space. So here we are having literal space like this, and then plus. So it says this space, right? This we have given. one or more times, plus says one or more times, or
Yes, sir.
or we can have like this space one or more times after it. This is a character class, or we can have slashes. Slash s, this part stands for space. So you can either say slash s plus, or you can say space like this plus, or you can have space itself and then you can say plus. So the problem with this approach, this literal space, is that if you have tabs, perhaps it will cause issues in matching, right? So it is better to give it like slash s, sorry, slash s, or with space. So this is I should not be running this because this is just a regular expression. Okay, fine. So
Sir,
this is
sir,
one
what is the
part.
difference between dot star and plus?
Yeah, I'll come to that. And just give me one moment, please. Okay, so this is space, and then after that we are saying, say one or more times the space is there. After that we are saying the last one, this one. Let's focus on this one. Okay, and then we are saying there should be opening curly bracket, and then again within once it is opened in the same line, there could be spaces after that. Okay, so then we are saying slash s again to denote space, star. So there could possibly be a spaces, there could not be a spaces. Both are okay. In some cases there are spaces after the curly bracket. In some cases there aren't any spaces after the curly bracket. So therefore we are saying stars. Star. So the difference between plus and star is plus says one or more times. Okay, something whatever the preceding expression is, one or more times it should be there. So this space I'm giving, right? So it says one or more times the space should be there. It means there should at least be one space, right? But here I'm saying zero or more times. So the star means zero or more times.
Can
The
we
slashes.
can
Hmm.
we try slash and instead of s just space?
No, then in that case you need not need not have slash, right? Because slash is to
No,
hmm,
just because
yeah.
all characters we say slash we need to use, right? If I do
No. We need not. So the thing is, see, slashes is having a special meaning as a single entity. Okay, this is a single entity. For example, right? For example, how do you match new lines? You say slash n, right? Because if you say n, then it is the character n, the letter, the alphabet, n. But if you say slash n, then that becomes a new line.
for
Yeah,
bracket
you get.
use slash, right? Slash bracket. So
Ye-
likewise,
hmm.
slash what will happen?
Slash space, nothing will happen. I think it'll, because you cannot escape it. So this will become this will try to, I mean, and there's no such character. You can match a space directly without having the slash. That is what I'm saying. But if you do that, I think it'll either say the expression is wrong, or it'll try to match it, whatever it can match. So let us try that, no? Because for space itself, you need not have the uh, backslash. Okay, I just paste it here, clear it. Okay, sorry, I have the other one. This one, yeah. So this is matching, right? So you're saying after the for example, here I have a space. So you're saying that I want a slash like this. So it still matches. Doesn't doesn't make a difference actually, because you need not escape it as such. Anyway, it does not have any special meaning, so you can literally give the space. Yeah, but if you're saying slashes, then if you just say s, then this will become the letter s. So if you want to, if you want to make it a space, then you have to have slashes. So that is a special character in grep. That is similar to how slash n denotes new line. If you want to match new lines, then you have to give slash n. There are different ways of doing it. The easiest one to give, I think, is the space itself, the character class. This one is easy to understand also what is going around. Right? So maybe I'll make it like this. Okay, and I have this. Okay. So again, I'm saying a space, one or more spaces, and then opening curly bracket. Space, this one, zero or more times, this part. Because there could be a space, there could not be a space. After it, I have to certainly end, meaning after that opening bracket and potentially a space or multiple spaces, after that, I should not have any other character. Okay. So therefore, I am having the dollar, which says end after that. Okay. Then I'm giving the file name. So for all these three files, it is matching. And if you want to look at the matches also, you can match it like this. So you see, it is matching, right? So this one is okay. This one is also okay. This one is also okay. So this is the idea.
Sir, sir,
Hmm.
what is that minus L stands for, sir?
L says you have to list only the file name. So if you go to grep help or egrep help, you will have SL, right? L, okay. It's only there in egrep, is it? Yeah, here also you have it. Minus L, file or files with matches. Print only names of files with selected lines.
Okay,
Meaning,
thank you.
wherever you have match, you just print the names of files. That is exactly what we need, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. All right. So
So,
this is all that we need. Yes.
what dot
So
and star will do?
dot star says anything. Dot is basically anything, right? Any character zero or more times. That's what it means. Any character one or more times. So you should not. It will. So dot star will even match blank, but dot plus will not match blank. You know that is the
Uh,
difference between.
so if we put
And
after space, so it will be like one or more, right?
yeah, one or more like this. So you have a space or maybe slashes star. It says one or more space. Zero or more space in this case. If you do plus, then it is one or more. That's correct.
Okay,
Is that
great.
okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Sir,
Okay.
sir,
Please.
what is difference between space and tab? Tab, you are saying tab.
Tab is this, no, the longer one. The keyboard has a tab key also. So if you do a
Yes, sir,
space,
yes, sir.
it goes like this, no, one character, and then if you do
Yes.
tab, okay, tab is okay. Here it's a different thing. So okay, maybe in Nano, I can show you. Uh, Example. Okay. So space is something like this, right? Tab is like this. You see. So if you press once, then it's a different character altogether. So
And
this is
how can we
How
write a
to
script in the tab?
search for tab
how to search for tab. Tab is this slash t.
slash t?
Slash t is tab.
Okay.
Slash s is I think tab and spaces both. Okay,
Spaces.
because um it says both I think, and just this space you have this the space itself, right? I mean, uh, the space only. So and then there's one more. Yeah, slash n is new line, and so on and so forth. So several such characters are there. So
Is there
if you
a
do
for this
so,
slash thing?
hmm.
Is there a man for this? Is there a man for this slash thingy?
Oh, these characters, right? Yeah, there should be actually. I'm not really sure if you have a list of. Not able to recall it off the top of my head at this moment. Um, but there should be.
Okay,
Okay,
okay, okay.
let me think about it. If
Thank
there is, I'll just share the link for it. Okay, I think there should be. I'm not really sure where you can find it, but there should be. Okay, so that's the
Yes.
idea. I just finished this one. So okay, this is the thing that we need to do. So I'll just put it in the script. This is the one line command, and the other approach is to just loop it and do it. You know, like that.
Mm.
So
That approach also you show
yeah, I'll
once.
do that. I was hoping we could move to 5 also, but if you want to see that, it's okay. I'll just show that as well. Okay, so again, same thing, right? Nothing is uh, uh, nothing is
Here, can we
hard
remove
coded
this
here.
slash
So
thingy? Can we remove
yeah,
slash
yeah.
because we are
Let's try it.
in the script?
Yeah, yeah. Now we can try it out. Okay, it should
So,
be
by
okay.
the
This
way, in
one.
this file name would be printed also, right?
Sorry, which one again?
In this code,
Hmm.
file name would be printed also, right?
Yeah, because you're giving minus L, no? Minus L itself prints that.
Okay.
This is the input. This is saying where I should match. Okay, so I'm saying asterisk.cpp. Every CPP file you match it, then grep is going to match for each of them, right? By itself. Wherever it matches, it will print it. Wherever it does not match, it will not print it. Why? Because minus L, the purpose of minus L is exactly that. It just says wherever there is a match, I'll print the file name. Wherever there is no match, I'll not print the file name, essentially skipping on that file. But we are giving all the files.
If I do ls star dot cpp and then I have to pipe it to egrep minus l this particular command, right?
That will also work. Yes, that will also work, but still you have to give minus L because this itself will not.
Right.
Yeah, so that we can do. Okay, I'll just run it. So now that we have removed the escape from brackets, hopefully it should be okay. Let us try that. So, yeah, and eval.
It runs by default. Means you don't need to give the permission.
Oh, okay. Synchro eval is not passing. Okay, so it means you had to still escape it. Yeah, certain characters you have to always escape. I mean that's the way it is.
That you have listed.
Yeah, see. Okay, so brackets are having special meaning in any case. You have to escape it. Okay, certain characters you need not escape, but that always creates confusion. In this case, brackets for sure you need to escape. Okay, so either way, whether you are using extended or not. So extended, some additional character classes are also there. So that's why we prefer it. And some characters you need not escape. That's the idea. For example, this one we are not escaping, right? This uh, curly bracket we are not escaping. This is how it works, and you can evaluate it. So this is working. Now quickly I'll just show you one more thing. So somebody mentioned that instead of giving the input like this, I can also do cat. Oops, sorry, cat asterisk.cpp and then pipe it to egrep with L. So this should be okay as well. Okay, this is not okay because
I think it will say like std in.
Cat stores the contents, right?
it'll print out the content also. No, that we
If
need
you
not
do
have.
ls, if you do ls, then also it might
ls.
tell them.
Okay. No. So what happens is let us have it now. I don't want to spend so much time on this, but I'll just quickly see what happens
If
in
you
this case. So
print the
I have,
content, then it won't print the content.
yeah, actually what happens, Punendu, this approach, the problem is that we are piping the
Hmm.
output, no? You understand what
Yes.
I'm saying? Right. So grep needs the
It's
content,
not a
not the.
command.
Okay. But then cat should also work, no? Because cat
Yeah,
actually
cat
displays the
should.
content.
Right. So if you do,
We,
yeah, for everything it does. So now again, another problem is this entire thing becomes one file. You see, I'm
Hmm.
doing cat for everything. It becomes one input for it, and then I'm going to pass it like this. So it'll just print one line. I think even that it will not print. So because you don't have the, sorry.
So, sir, in previous ls example, ls star.cpp,
Mhm.
what we are saying is the output of that ls command should be given to input of egrep. No? So, what is the issue in that?
Yeah, you see what is happening here. So since I'm doing cat on st.cpp, it becomes one file, and then I'm passing it. So it
Sir,
just says
ls,
standard input.
ls, ls, mean
ls. Yeah.
ls star.cpp,
Okay.
We
and
need
I
the
say,
content, and it's just giving you the file.
The
Dot
file name
CP.
itself becomes the
Ah,
content. You see.
that's what you want as output, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, this becomes the input for the search. So for example, now if I do grep
okay,
for 4.cpp, it is going to match it, right? Because I mean this is your content now. You see, but we are trying to match inside of the file. So that's why we cannot do ls. Is that
okay.
okay?
So this expression means grep on the on the given pattern in the input which was provided by ls.
Yeah, which with the output rather, which was
Okay,
provided by it. This is
output.
standard. So what happens is this thing, the highlighted portion, is going to give you some output, and that output is becoming the input to the next part. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, got it.
All right, very good. So that's what happens. Therefore, we cannot use this. And again, Pranendu, so cat also does not work because it's saying standard input. We need the file names, no? Because once you pass it like this, grep has no information about which files are we matching and so on. So L becomes basically ineffective, right? L does not know how to list the, because it is having the standard input only. It does not know about the files and so on. It is only because you were giving the pattern at the end like this, it was able to match. Otherwise, it cannot match. And if you're doing this, if you're using -L, then you have to certainly provide it like this. Okay. Then only it will have the knowledge of the files that are coming in and so on. So then in that case, we need not use cat and we'll print it like this. So it just works like this. But I think I made some changes to the pattern also. Okay. So this one works. I'll just revert it. ls certainly won't work. Cat is not working because it is making it one file, but we need the list of all files. So therefore, I'll have it asterisk.cpp. And since this is also a wildcard match, it is going to select on all files, but only those which are ending with cpp. Okay, by default. So this will work. Okay, where is eval? Synchro eval. It works. Okay, so we'll quickly clear and go to the last part, and then we move on to week 5 PPA.
This one only for the current folder files only we can do the grep, because we are
Yeah,
giving now here grep and then do it on all the files, right? Can we
You're
do
right.
it with on folder also? Can we?
Yeah, certainly we can do that. So what you can do is, so for example, assume that this CPP, I mean, in this case it is here only, but you can give any path, right? So assume that I have a directory called
So
test,
even
and
the
I'm
path also I can use wild character so that it can
ha
multiple
ha,
folders. It has to go and then try, because I
right,
have 10 folders wherein I have this CPP files.
right.
Still it
Not only
can work.
hmm, not only that. So in fact, something like this could also happen. So let's say so one nice thing I'll just show since we are here. So what I can do is I can move file 1 to 5.cpp to A to test. Okay, maybe. Okay, so I have this test now, and I can move all the other files asterisk dot asterisk maybe everything, not asterisk dot asterisk dot cpp. Yeah, asterisk dot cpp to, let's say, so I have to first of all create it. No, I'm getting a test 2 maybe test 2, and then I'm going to move it to test 2 all the files like this. Okay, so now we have two directories. This one is not useful enough, so now we have test and test 2. Okay, so what we can do then, we had that egrep, no, yeah, this one. Let me just copy the actual pattern from here. Yeah, the end was missing, right? Okay, so now this is what you have. Asterisk cpp will match only the current directory. What you can do is you can also say test slash asterisk cpu. So within test it'll match. I think within test you don't have the matches. So it's a test 2. Yeah, so all the 7, 8, 9 actually went into a test 2, so therefore it is giving like that. And not only this, this is a this is a regular pattern that you give in grep, rather in bash. So you can also have brace expansion and everything like that. So you can have test comma test 2, so it matches for both and so on and so forth, right? So within test 2 it is matching, but even if there's something in test, it will match. So everything you can do basically. Okay, all the path operations are there. All right, so that's the idea. The other approach of using the for loop is like the extended way of doing it. I think this one is more concise and easier to understand, but if you want, we can explain that also towards the end. Okay, maybe we can go to 4.10 and finish that. Synchro show. Okay, I'll just clear it. Okay, so it is a continuation of the same thing. It says line starts with this and so on and so forth. The pattern is same, right? And it says, and also print the count of these files in the following line. Okay. And store your output in the file. Okay, so in this case, you have to store the output in out.txt. That we will do. But we have to also, print the count of the files in the following line. So uh, this one also we can do, right? Using T, yeah. This one we can do, yeah. So yeah, you can try this one, and then we'll just, you can reuse the existing script that is there, maybe modify it a little bit so that this works. Okay. So first part is redirecting, which is okay. The other part is to also print the count. We'll have 4 to 5 minutes on this.
Sir, here we have to use only a single command, or we have to use the three commands that are given tdef, tty.
T, I think you have to use, right? Otherwise, how do you? I mean, you can still print, I think, but it is better if you use T. So because you have to use, I think, to count in grep also you have this count, no, minus C gives you the count. Right, you can do that, or you can use WC minus L. So both ways you can count. If you use WC minus L, and then that's a different command, so then you have to use T. I was thinking about doing it in the using grep itself. But if you've already given L, then because it is not asking about the match, right? The count of match, rather it is asking about how many files are there. So then WC minus L is better option. And then you can using T you can pass it to both standard output as well as to out.txt. Okay, somebody is putting a solution there. Uh, no, but what you are doing is, Ribusudan, you are piping it to WC, right? But in this case, you'll only get the count, no? It says also print the count. So what it means is, we have to have the lines, rather we have to have the files in output.txt. I mean, all the files should be there, and we have to at the end of the command, you have to print the file name. So it is two-step process. One is you're still doing the same thing as we were doing in the earlier question, but this time we just redirect it to out.txt, and once it is done, you print the count in the end. So that's what you have to do. So if you directly pipe it as you're doing here, I think it'll only give the file, the count, right? But you have to still get the file names as well. So we need both. Okay, so now I'll describe it. Okay, so let us start. So what I'll do, I have done is that I've just copied it, copied the script from the earlier thing here, so that we just modified. And since it is mentioned that we are reducing synchronate, let us have it as well. Okay, so all the files come here. That's okay. So what we are doing is okay till now. So egrep part, right? I'll just copy it from there and go inside and copy it. So this is okay. Up until now, it's fine. We're getting all the names, right? Uh, so the idea is, yeah, the idea is after this, you have to have the count, right? So this is still fine, but we should not be printing it here. Rather, we should be putting it to output, and then we should print it. So it says store your output in file, this out.txt. It's easy to do. Just do that and that's done. So if we cat now, I get all of it. It's fine. But I also need to get the file count. So there are multiple ways of doing it, right? One way is to output it. Then because we are writing script again, remember, right? So multiple commands are possible. So in one line, I'll just say that okay, you do the matching and then output to out.txt, and then I can say cat out.txt and then wc minus l. Right, so that will give me the output. So the earlier command will not print anything, and I only have the count, right? So this suffices, I think. That is first one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is using T. So what T does is that it allows you to print.
No, do we need to do T? Because this one you put it, you send it to the output. Then you make a WC on the output. Is it not possible to make a WC on the output? Now I've written make a pipe and then do cat out dot txt and then do a WC and then append to the same out dot txt. It's possible. Now this
Sorry,
pipe
last part I did.
no, after this up to out.txt, right? I make a pipe cat, not this. Make a full up to this. No, not this cat. Egrep.
Okay.
Just make the
Oh, okay. Fine,
egrep.
fine.
Yeah. Now, no. Make the out.txt. I have
Okay.
then pipe.
No. This if you pipe.
Yes.
That'll be a problematic thing because there is no output.
No,
You redirect it.
no. Now there is no output, but out. It is written in the out.txt. Now I cannot do the cat out.txt.
Yeah, you can, but you should not be piping it. In that case,
Okay.
you can do and.
And okay, cat out.txt. Make a WC
minus L. Yeah,
WC
that works.
and then double append to out.txt. WC append double.
Oh, okay. You are saying that you
Double
want to print the file count also in the.
Now after
the
double right arrow and then out.txt.
out.
Double, not single.
Okay, like this.
Yes.
I think it'll work. Yeah, you get it. Yeah, but then this part actually I'm not sure whether this line count we had to put it in the output or on the terminal. This part I'm not actually sure, but perhaps we need to.
But I think everything should be in the out.txt.
Output. Okay. Yeah, so then in that case, this works. So we put it out and then we cat out and um, you know put it there. So that is one way of doing it. Or if you use T, what happens is it simultaneously allows you to put to the output and also on the terminals, and those things we can do. But still, you have to use WC minus L. There is no other way around it except if you're doing it the long way. So I think this one is mentioned because we could do it via loops also. No, the earlier approach that I was mentioning in 4.9, if you're having a for each loop and then you're going through all the files manually and then printing the file names. So that time we can use the T command to append simultaneously and print it. So what happens is, assume that I'm inside a loop, okay, and one file at a time I am picking and matching and then printing. So assume that having something like this egrep. I'm having the pattern and then I give the file like this, okay, file. So it is going to match, right, and so on and so forth. Once that is done, I'm going to do T. So T will allow me to print on the screen as well as on the output. So it allows me to do both. Okay.
Can we do it?
Yeah. So that's what I'll show. But before we get there, that's okay. That I'll show. But I just want to confirm whether I don't think that we just need it in the output.
It
We need to
works.
have it on. We need to have it on the screen also, no? Isn't it required? Let me see. Okay.
Here it works.
Oh, it is working, is it? Okay, okay. So it means just taking the output. Then in that case, we need not have it on the screen. Yeah. Then in that case, I think you need not um have T. Okay, it's working as it is. But in case you want to print it onto the terminal and on the screen, so what happens in that case is it goes something like this. I'll just show you. So assume that I'm having echo hello, and then if I make it go to out.txt, then nothing will show up on the screen. So what happens is this I can do, and then I can pipe it to T. So and then /def/tty. /def/tty is the terminal, okay? So standard output. So basically, I'm saying it should go the output whatever comes from here should go to out.txt as well as to the /def/tty. That is what it is
Well,
mentioning.
if I remember correctly, there
Hmm.
is something which allows us to pass the output as well as, means like write the output as well as display it on the screen. I think it's and the angular bracket, front angular bracket.
No,
There is this.
and greater than you're saying, right? Greater than symbol. This one, right? This one is to both. So okay. So assume that I have this. Hello. So if I do and greater than, it will mean that I want to redirect the output as well as the error. So there is standard output and a standard error as well, right? So here I'm saying I want to do both. If I do one greater than, which is the default, it's just the standard output. If I do two greater than, it's just the error, not the
Mhm.
standard output. This is one we have discussed right earlier. If you do and greater than, then that is both. But that is not to output to rather on the screen as well. So for that you have to necessarily use T. Okay. So T,
Okay.
and I am saying that I should put it to out.txt maybe. Right. So whatever comes out from there, like from the echo, goes to T and also to /def/tty. So this way what will happen is it will show up on the screen still, right? It's showing up on the screen, but at the same time it also goes to out.txt. So that is the advantage of having this, and that is what it meant when it said that we use this. Okay.
So where is the count portion coming?
For count you have to use wc minus l only, no?
Thinking, okay, after CPP,
T.
use T,
Hmm.
and then, okay, I will write all these three files, and it will be in the output as
So
well.
if you do
And then I have to use cat again.
So if you do like this, no, that's the advantage of having /def/. See, earlier, so assume that, okay, earlier what we were doing is, so I have, hello, I'm going to output it, right? Then what we did, we are going to cat it and then pipe it, right? That's what we did. So two-step process, WC minus. This is working, right? That's okay. I'm echoing it to and saving it to output. Then once it is done, and then cat on the output, and then WC minus L. This also works. But what T allows us to do is to simultaneously print to both, right? So I'm putting it to out.txt, but I need not cat it again, since I'm still having it in the standard output. So I can just do like this, TTY, and then directly pass it to WC minus L. So that is the idea. I'm printing still on the screen, and it also going onto out dot.
Oh, okay. So the WCL will be taking it from the output.
The standard output. Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Okay. And one last thing I just want to check is regarding the fact that whether output. Yeah, this part is okay. So let's go back. Uh, yeah. So this is okay. So instead of putting it out and then doing cat, I can just pipe it to all the files. I'll pipe it to T. So it goes to output and to the terminal /def/tty. Right. Or is it like this? Yeah. And then I am piping it to WC. That's okay. I need not have it. So I think we need not print it on the output. So in this case, it will just give the file names on the file, but print the count on the screen. Okay, it is not saving the count on the output file. So let us see if that's still fine. Or okay, so we need to have the entire output there. Okay, so then uh, yeah, we will do that, and then also we will.
So I think WC hyphen L should be before T.
Yeah, that is okay. That is okay. So this part, uh, this output it to this. That is fine. And then again, I have to cat it, right? So WC manager, I'm doing it. Okay. So let us do this. And the entire output goes to, yeah, because I'm printing on both, right? Yeah. So the entire output then goes to, yeah, this is correct. Out.txt. In fact, this one was correct. So this allows you to, now what is happening is I'm doing the match. All the file names are there. So I did that. I put it on the output as well as on the terminal. And since it is already on the standard output, I am just doing pipe to WC minus L, right? So everything comes up and the entire thing will go to out.txt. So since standard output is already there and I am piping it to then WC minus L as well. So it will just have
So,
both.
so
So
shouldn't
that is what
you
is
append
happening.
the file?
No, no, we should not. So the thing is, this is what happens. You see, if you run it, this is what is the output, right? Okay. The earlier output that was coming in, right? We have this. Earlier, did we? No, this one is the output, right? This is correctly coming, right? So you have 7, 8, 9, and then the count also. So the entire thing you are putting it there. Okay, I think
Sir,
I
the
have.
dev TTY should have a different set.
Sorry about that. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so then I am having WC minus L. So this is okay. The entire thing, I'm not redirecting the output. Okay, so you can see it on the screen. Entire thing will come up. I need not cat the out again because it is taking in from the standard output as usual. So if you do now, you see the entire thing is coming, right? And I need not do cat again, save it, and then I don't have to do it this way. Okay, so the entire thing is happening, simultaneously in some sense because it is going both to the output file as well as on the terminal. And since it is already there on the standard output, I am doing WC minus L as well. So that is the advantage of T. This you can only do when you are using T. Okay, because you need simultaneous output because I'm using the output from the terminal to do WC minus L and the entire thing because of course it will be printed because I'm having TTY. So it will be printed on the terminal, including the WC minus L. It's coming on the screen. So once it is done, right, once it is done, I could just redirect the entire thing to out.txt. That's what it said. Okay, because this is the thing you're getting, right? So this is what you need in the file. So that's why we have done that. And if you see, it mentions store your output in out.txt. So the entire output then will be stored there. So
Sir, you didn't append the output, sir.
Yes, sir, you have overwritten, sir.
okay, because the WC part is only showing up, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
makes sense. But then you're showing it on the screen, that's fine, and then you're redirecting it.
So
Uh,
it's working.
it's working now. Okay. So you're having on the screen also, and then putting it there. Okay. So if you got cat now, it'll show up both. Yeah. Just remove it again. I'll check it. So I'll remove it now, and then evaluate it again. Yeah. Okay. So yes, because the earlier thing is already there, right? That part I was missing. Okay. So the rest of it is already there up until this point. The lines have already been printed because of T. So when you do WC minus L, you just have to append it to output.txt. That's what you do. And it saves it. Okay, fine.
How to take something from the input? Now we send something to the output
Huh?
and then doing some operation, counting it, and then storing it to a file.
Hmm.
We need to read it from the input and do
Hmm.
something. How to do that?
You have to use read for that. So the read command is there, right? Read. So oops. You see what happened? So you have to use the read command. Read command will wait for the input and it will store it in that variable, whatever you give. So you have 20. So now whatever I provided as the input is going to go to A, right? So now if I echo A, you see 20 is there, right? That's the idea.
Okay, you have to use read command.
Yeah. So for example, I can have read A, read B. So it'll ask twice, and then 10, 20, and then I can do echo A plus B. How is it to use this? Is it? Yeah. So it says 30, right? That's what the idea is. You're reading twice. So now I want to put it in a script, for example, to quickly show how it works. You have multiple lines, right? So you read A. It'll take the first input, whatever you provide. It is similar to input in Python, right? Uh, you have S is equal to input and so on and so forth. Right? So it just reads it and puts it into A, whatever you give. Then I'm going to read B, and then I'm going to echo A plus B. So, and then chmod u plus x test not sh. Okay, so now I'm just going to run it. Now this is not taking from the standard input, rather it will read it from wherever I give. So now it is waiting for the input. I give 10. It is again waiting for the input. After I press enter, then I give 50, let's say. So I press enter, so then it is echoing both, the sum of both. So it is 60. Is that okay?
Okay. Okay, you have to give it.
Okay, very good. Okay, so we'll quickly move to 5. I think we'll have some half an hour to at least uh, go through some of the problems. So start with PPA 5.1 actually. Clear it. Yes, so this is practice programming assignment for week 5. So first question. This all should be connected in some way or the other. The rest of the problems. So hopefully, once you do that, progressively you will be able to solve all of them. Can everyone be on mute, please? Whoever is not speaking. This one is brace expansion, no? It's very easy to do. Okay, so I'll just describe it quickly. So it says we are going to create a file called documents.txt containing all possible file names in this particular format. Okay. So everything that is possible, you know, in this format. So we have this format file underscore xyz, where x is a lowercase alphabet, so it could be a to z, right? Y is also a lowercase alphabet, again a to z, and z, the last part, so the three parts to it, x, y, and z. The last part is a number between 0 to 4, so something like this. So you have file sd1, ja0, at2, and so on and so forth. Okay. So echo with echo, you can do it in a single command only. That's correct. So in general, with brace expansion, what happens is, so you have echo 1.5, right? So it is by default separated by a space. So you need not worry about the delimiter as such, because it mentions we have to, the file names in documents.txt should be separated by a single space, which is automatically happening using echo, right? Once you do brace expansion, it is going to echo it like this only. So this is fine. Now, so what is the format? Format is, I have file underscore. So the x is the part with x is going to be a to z, like this. This is y. Y is going to be again a to z, and the last part which is z is 0 to 4. So I'll just use expansion like this. Now if I do echo, it will print out all such files. So the last one is just taking a cross product basically. Okay, so the last file is zz4, and so on and so forth. So many files are there.
Can you show
Okay,
me the command what you have entered?
this one.
I did the same thing.
Hmm. And then we have to output it to documents. So
Okay. No, I used a hyphen instead of dot.
oh no, you have to use a dot. Brace expansion is dot only, right? So that's all there is to it. Once you do that, you have to evaluate it. Okay, so we run it, we evaluate. Okay.
So we need to have a space in between the files, no?
No, it is already, I think, there. So we check. Space is already there, right? So all the file names, between all the file names, you have a space. That's okay. It's failing because of some other reason, I think. The file name should be a space, like few examples, okay? And you have to do this, right? Yeah, it should be okay, no?
Do we need to write the .txt format also?
Yeah, did we miss it or what? Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, thanks. So we are missing the extension, right? This is the format, so you have to have dot, because in the output you
Yes.
will not have that .txt, right? So you need it. So therefore, .txt is needed. Yeah, thanks. Once you do that, it should be okay. Yeah, passes. So that is the idea. I'll just do that again. This one, and then evaluate. Okay, so any question regarding this, or shall we move to the next one? This one is just using brace expansion. So this we've been discussing, I think, for some time now.
Sir,
We
once
should.
again, sir, once again, sir, please, sir.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So what happens is, you have echo, right? Let's say you have
Yes,
A to
sir.
C
Yes, sir.
and 1 to 3.
Yes,
So
sir.
it is going to multiply them, like it is going to take a cross product. So you'll have A1, A2, A3. So the next part. So first, the elements from the first set will be, getting merged with the elements from the second set also. So for all of them. So it's a
Yes,
double,
sir.
it's like a nested loop. So you have A1, A2, A2, A3, B1,
Yes, sir.
B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. So that's what you get, right?
Yes, sir.
And so if you do synchro show now, it is saying that the format that I need is for files is something like this. I'm going to start with, and whatever you give, before the expansion or after the expansion is going to be, constant. So it is going to be there as part of the file name. So I say file underscore like this, for example, and then .txt. So this file underscore remains and .txt remains, right? And the middle part, this one is having that brace expansion. So A1, A2,
Yes,
A3, B1,
yes, sir.
B2, B3, and so on. So
Yes, sir.
so it says our format is having three segments, X, Y, and Z. So the X part is lowercase alphabet letter rather, lowercase letter A to Z, from A to Z. And similarly, for the next part also like Y, this capital Y is also a letter from A to Z, small letter. And the last part is a digit. It says no, Y is also a lowercase. That's okay. Z is a number between 0 to 4. So you have to have this 0 to 4. So that's what I've changed here now. This expansion
Yes,
I
sir.
have changed.
Yes.
File underscore and dot txt remain constants, so those will not be affected. And this
Right.
output of, because this output is going to be very long, this is the output, all possible file names which can have this format, all possible file names.
Yes,
Now
sir.
I'm going to output this to documents.txt because that's what it is asking us to do. So the entire output goes to documents. So if you cat documents, now you get all this, right? And now I'm going to do synchro eval for this part.
Sir,
Is that
here
okay?
you don't here you don't require ch mode u plus x and all.
No, 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 no. That is not required because it is mentioned here in line number 13. If you see, it says you do not need to create any script file for this. You can directly run the command in the terminal to create the file. That's all. After the file is created, you
So,
run.
so what
If
if
we
we want to
want to
separate them with a comma?
Sorry, Punendu, what was the question again?
What, how to means what if we want to separate it with a comma? How to do that? Do we do
Ah,
that
yeah,
like
yeah.
this?
No, no.
A
So
to
you
Z
can do
comma A to Z then comma 0 to 4.
no. One thing you can do. No, you can use paste for it. So, no, no, no. Comma if you use, then okay, yeah. I mean, you can use it, but then that will be problematic. The other thing you can do is you can use paste. No, so paste and then you use the delimiter plus. Uh, okay, echo is using like that. No, okay, okay. So you have to have it in new lines, right? Okay. So what you can do is you can do this echo, and after it finishes, you can have a slash n. So it is sorry.
Comma separate them with
Yeah,
comma.
yeah. I
That's
understand. I understand that aspect. Just give me one
I
moment.
think delimiter is supported. I think.
I wanted to check one thing. Yeah, escape is disable interpretation is and enable it. Okay. So echo e and hello world. Yeah. So if you do echo minus e, it is going to get your backslashes, interpreted and make it into new line. So what I'm saying is, so if you have, let's say, hello slash n world, then it comes into new lines, right? And then I'm going to pipe it to paste and change the delimiter. So uh, then the delimiter becomes comma. Okay, paste minus s. Yeah. So you use paste minus s because paste minus s, what it does is that each new line, it is going to make it into one line. That is the idea of paste minus s. And while doing so, to paste, I can say that I need a specific delimiter. So I can make it into comma or a plus or dot or
So
anything,
here
anything.
minus s will do.
Okay, okay. So I can do the above command and then pass it to paste.
So what I'm saying is this part I had not given the interpretation, so I will just change it. I will have minus e also. I think somebody else asked a question. Just give me one moment, please. I'll come to your question also. So minus e. So now slash n. So what happens is that it's not expanding it for some reason. Do I need to? Okay, because I need to escape all of it because it. Okay, if I
Actually,
do
this
minus e, then
is a
expansion
double
is.
quote.
Yeah, expansion is not working actually. That's if you do this then. Okay, brace expansion breaks if you. Yeah, this one is working. That's okay. Then what I'm saying is after this I have to have a slash n.
You have to use, I think, TR.
Okay, slash n. Actually, with brace expansion, you know, slash n is having some issues. So that will not work. So I can then not use paste because paste will work only if you have new lines. The other
Can we
other
can
aspect.
we take the same
Hmm.
problem and then instead of space try to make comma?
That's okay. So that's what we're doing. So this is done. Now this is in space. Now I can use sed also. Right. Again, same thing. Right. I can use sed and substitute. Uh, what is that? A space, right? A space with let's say comma. Uh,
Also, you can use translating the TR.
TR will also work. There is space. I'm trying with said once. TR is also okay. So you have a space and I want to replace. Basically, I'm trying to change from space to comma.
Then what
So
will minus s will do in the paste command?
minus s serializes it. So that's a different thing. So if you've come to paste help, just give me one moment. I'll show you the TR part as well. So it says serial. Okay. So it says actually paste is to merge multiple files actually. So it goes through if you have paste right and you don't have minus s, then it is going to read through all files and then print lines from it sequentially. Write lines consisting from the file sequentially from each file. Okay, and that is separated by tabs to the standard output. But the problem is that it'll go parallelly. So sometimes the order is not predictable. Let's say you have multiple files having multiple lines. Then from file A you have printed one line and then immediately you print from let's say file Z. Multiple files are there. Let's say some 20 files are there and randomly you are printing the lines from each file, but it will just eventually print all lines from all files, but the order is not fixed. If you do minus s, then it will do serially. So the first file, then the next file, and then the third file, and so on and so forth. So that's what you do. But the utility of the paste command is also in the fact that it allows you to give a delimiter to separate the files. I mean, basically the file could be from standard input also. So that's what we have done. We have said that we want to use a specific delimiter to replace it. This is a very useful command in that way. So that is one. The other is tr. Somebody is mentioning. Set is not happening here, so we'll go with tr. So tr also you have to give. Yeah. Okay. So what we will do is translate, right? So then okay. Set one and set two. Fine. So then I can say tr space with let's say dot. Yeah. So a space with dot. So it has replaced a space with dot. Now if I want to do comma, I can do like this. So now you have it separated by comma. Is that okay? Because tr just replace it, replaces the characters. Okay. So I'm assuming it's fine.
Yes,
What
yes.
is TR is what?
TR is to translate, meaning whatever I have
Translate.
given the first set.
Okay,
Okay.
translate space to comma. Okay.
Comma, yeah. So it just replaces that to that. And I wanted to also see if slash n will work. Yeah. So if I do slash n, then it becomes like this. Okay. Now that's what I was telling. So now you can again do paste and so it is now assuming that's a new line. Then I can do paste minus s and give delimiter here also. So several ways of doing it. Now I want to give delimiter as comma. So again I come back. Or I can give delimiter as plus. So instead of comma now it is taking plus. Right? That's what happens. So but tr alone is enough. Instead of space we'll have comma. Yeah. But in this problem it is not required to do that because it mentions that you have to do it via space. So that is already happening. So we'll not do anything. I think that suffices, right? Only echo because by default in echo you have a space. So that's fine.
Sir, sir,
Okay.
sir, sir.
Hmm.
Please give me the final code, sir. I've not seen the final code.
Okay, okay, fine.
You have changed so many things.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, I was describing something different entirely.
Yes,
But
yes,
anyway,
yes.
so I was. This is the statement. I'm having this command, right? We need not have this. That alone is sufficient. You have documents after it. Yeah, this one. This one is the last one.
So, but you made the apostrophe before F file, no, sir? Echo for apostrophe within bracket.
Yeah, yeah. You can have it or you can skip it also. It's fine. In this case, it doesn't matter.
Sir, I'm not getting it, sir.
Can you paste your command, please, in the terminal if possible? I'll just check it. Maybe there's some typo or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And this translate also it can remove space or any character also, right?
It can remove also. Yeah, that's what.
Even the first string.
Hmm. So,
What I
so
have.
for that, I'll have a different thing. So, for example, let's say I'm having hello world. like this, and I want to tr is to blank. Oh, it says non-empty, so it should be something. Cannot, but no, there is a way to truncate also. Earlier also I was trying it out. Mm,
Minus D, I think, delete.
D, yeah. Delete characters in set one, do not translate. Yeah, so you have to use minus D for that. So I'll just say tr minus D and then this space. Yeah, so the space goes away, right? That's what happens. The tr is very useful. Okay, quickly come back to the other question. Have you pasted your command? Sorry, can someone?
Sir, I pasted this
Hmm.
code, but it is still saying some failed comments.
Yeah, yeah. Can you paste in the chat again? Sorry, I didn't get that actually.
Okay, sir, I will send it in chat.
Yeah, yeah. In chat only. I wanted to see once. Maybe there's some issue there.
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Yeah. And then meanwhile for others, so yeah, this one is okay. I will come back to that and clarify that for you, Vijay Kumar. I want to go to the next one so that others could start it also. 5.2. Okay. All right. Create it. Go inside. Synchro show. Okay. So this is regarding shell variables. Okay, fine. Yeah, this is also not very difficult to do. Okay. Some redirection is involved, and you have to use the calendar and so on and so forth. How do you redirect them? So if you give September and then in the input, then the output should be september.txt should be created, inside of which the calendar for September should be there, and error should be empty. If you use, because you're using the cal command, right? Cal command gives you the calendar. So if some error is there, then error should go to error.txt. In this case, September is the correct month. So let's say I give something which is not a month, then
So do
it
we
goes
need
to
to
error.
use the read command here?
Do we need to use or not? Given a share variable, okay. Calendar does it. No, it is already given to us. We need not we need not read it, no? Because it is already supposed to contain a string value. We are not reading it, we are assuming it is there. Okay.
Where it is given, sir, in which file?
No, no, no. What happens is so okay, I just describe it. Just give me one moment. Prior query, I'll just resolve it. So echo file. Oh no, so Vijay Kumar is using dash, no? You have to use dot dot. For brace expansion is always dot dot. Not don't use hyphens like this. You should be doing like this, okay? Not like not like this. So currently you're doing like this, okay? Like this. This will not work. You have to use double dot like this. Is that okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, fine, fine. All right. So then we'll quickly move to this. Yeah, yeah. The thing with shell variables is assume that I set something. I'm not talking about this particular problem, but assume that I have a is equal to 10. Right now, it is once it is set. Even not necessarily that I have set it. Maybe it is already set. Now I can use it in my script, right? So it is there. It will be available to me. So when it says it is available in the shell variable month is supposed to contain. It is already there. So we will assume month is there and we'll move ahead with that. It is as if somebody has already set it for us. Month equal to something, and then it's already there. We are going to use it. You see, the variable month will be present as a variable in the environment, meaning we are having it already. So when we write our script, we will use it like dollar month. So dollar month is supposed to have that month, whatever the user provides. We need not worry about how to read it or set it. It's already there. Is that okay?
Yes, sir, got it.
Okay, fine, fine. Yeah, so we'll quickly move on and try doing this, no, while we are explaining. So I just go through that once again. So given a shell variable, that is okay. Some calendar month of 2023, fine. Cal command is there. X is the string value. Okay, that is also okay. And it should create an error.txt that should contain the error message if the string month does not correspond to any calendar month. That will happen automatically, right? If you give invalid month, then some error will come. And since I'll be redirecting the standard error, it'll go to the error file. That is okay. And yeah, November is there, so November should come up, and so on and so forth. Error should be empty. Of course, error will be empty in that case. No error is there. And if the variable month contains the string garbage, okay, so specifically for this, your solution should create a file name error.txt containing the error from
Can you
cal.
please explain this statement, this garbage thing?
Yeah, yeah. So it says if the variable month, meaning the month variable, is having the string garbage in this case, right? Particularly, they are saying this one. Your solution should create a file name error. It will automatically happen, right? Why? Because I'm going to pass it to calendar, right? So it will not be a valid month. It will be invalid string for a month. So then it will create a error.txt for me by itself, right? Because I'm redirecting it to the error. So that is okay. So containing the error from cal is this part is already done, right? And this should be created and it should be empty. But it will happen automatically, right? It is it is going to it is going to happen. So I'll just show you how it happens. So on the terminal. So assume that I have calendar and November 2023 if I say. So if 2023 is a constant, so we'll assume you're talking about the year 2023. If I say November 2023, then and November.txt. So now what happens? November gets created and it has November.txt has the calendar for it. So assume that instead of giving on the terminal directly, I have a variable called month. I'll just set it. I set it to November, month equal to NOV, that is for November. And the command now becomes calendar for this specific month 2023. And I'm going to redirect it to the file which is named after the month, okay, .txt, because this part will just be the value for the variable itself and .txt after that. So it still works, right? So if I can change it now, I'll change it. I'll change it to Jan, let's say. So month is now Jan. I'll clear it. Month is Jan. I'm going to run this command. This command is fixed now. No changes are required. I do that, and then I'll have Jan also here. And Jan, sure enough, it has the calendar for it. Now assume that I have something invalid. Oops, invalid. It could be garbage, but in this case, maybe if I set it as invalid, I'm going to run this command again. So this error comes up, and the file is created still. Because why? Because when you are redirecting, standard output will be created. No, it is standard output is going to be empty, but it will be created. Nothing is there because nothing is printed on the standard output. Rather, everything is on the standard error. So now I'm going to modify it a little bit. For month 2023, I'm going to output. If there is a standard output, that goes to the file corresponding to the month.
Error.txt.
Error and two greater than the error part will go to error.txt. These two things you need to. I think that suffices. So now I think if I change to Jan, so I'll just clear it. Okay, rm strict. Yeah, nothing is there. Now I'm going to change to Jan. Let's say. So if I have month equal to Jan, and I run the same command. So error is created because of course we are redirecting, but nothing is in the error, right? So error is blank. It's created, but it's blank. It's okay. And Jan is created as requested in the problem statement, so that is fine. But assume that the month is invalid. So I set it to invalid month. Let's say, so for example, garbage. Okay, this is done. And now I'm going to run the calendar command. So what will happen is it will be created. This is because of the standard output. This part. Since the month variable was holding the text garbage, it created a file under that name only, but it is blank because no standard output is there because calendar has thrown an error. Okay, and in the error you will have the error itself now this time, right? So it says it's neither a month number nor a name, so it's invalid. So this is all that you need. Okay, and we are assuming that this setting of the month is already done for us, so we are having this command only. That's all. And are we going to have it in a script or calendar.sh, right? Yeah, calendar.sh. Bin bash. This is the command. I'm going to save it. I'll just go back to the command again once I try it out. This passes, right? So everything is okay now. I'll just show you
So,
the.
uh, what is there in week 5? Actually, I haven't started week 5 watching week 5. So, just a synopsis of whatever it is in there would be helpful. Like what to focus
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Week 5, I'll let you know. So that part I will have to check. So in fact, I have the content here. Let me open that up. So it is released, right?
Yes, sir, it is released.
Right, right. So if you go to this part, just give me one moment. It's opening up. Yeah, week 5 is particularly about shell variables. Yeah, that is the only thing. Yeah. So only 3 lectures, I think. Shell variables part 1 and part 2. 5.1, 5.2, 5.3. So solely about shell variables. That is for system
But
commands
cell variables, sir,
and
cell
for Linux.
variables is just a small thing, right? So why three lectures? That I wanted to understand.
Okay, that you will realize after going through the lectures, I think.
There
Because
are
yeah,
there are
yeah,
some manipulations with cell
yeah,
variables, but I don't
yeah,
understand them fully today.
yeah, exactly. So that is what we're going to describe in that. I think you'll find it helpful, right? Because some substitutions and stuff can be done like that. And not only that, you have arrays also. No? Sometimes you have to handle arrays. So there are some intricacies in that that you need to be aware of and so on and so forth. So it'll be nice, I think, and go through that. I mean, but the focus as such is going to be only on shell variables. And that's why we are basically starting with this, right? So this one, this problem itself started with month being the variable that is set already, is how to use it, right? This dollar and so on and so forth. So
To
this is like
unset a variable, we will use the unset command, right?
unset command. Yeah, that's correct. Unset, yes. So I can show you that. So A is 10. Now if I echo A, because it is set, so it will show 10. I can say unset A. Now I can echo A again, so nothing is there. I mean, by default for any variable it is black. So
Sir, when the start of the session, at the very start of the session, I
hmm
don't remember who showed me, but we can use these all commands in our cell, means like Jupyter notebook. So when I do that,
hmm
for any error that can occur, it
hmm
will means if even if the command throws a error in any of the cases, means like we
hmm
have for certain cases, like earlier case only, if you
hmm
have this month, now a particular month is not available for me, like garbage value, it will throw a long error with
okay.
the issue. But when I do the same thing in terminal, it just shows a
hmm
very short error. So can we
Makes sense.
suppress?
Yeah. Which notebook you're talking about? Collab, is it, or Jupyter?
It's Jupyter Notebook from VS Code. I just use VS Code to run it.
Oh, okay, okay. That one is a slightly different thing. So maybe we can discuss it separately after the session. So yeah, you can do that. It's okay. The reason why the error is so long is because the shell interpretation is not by default. I mean, by default. So that is supposed to be code, right? So you are running Python code and so on and so forth. But
No,
a
no,
special,
I am actually
Mm.
using the Linux kernel.
Yeah. If you use the Linux kernel, then you can give it. But the thing is, it is not as if it is a SSH. So it is not directly going to
It
the
is
shell.
not.
Yeah, it is going through the kernel, and then down the line it finally hits the shell interpreter, and then bash, that is, and
Yes.
then the command is run, the result of which is coming back to your, because that's a web based thing, right? The interface and so on, so it will come back and so on. So in between there are APIs that are involved, right? System calls and
Mhm.
APIs. So therefore when the error comes up, it throws a chain of exception throughout the entire process. I mean, it is not only about that command, but the entire chain of the
Due
the
to which
calls.
few command fails, even though it works in terminal,
Yeah,
few commands fail in the Jupyter notebook.
right,
So
right,
I
right. So
think
if
so
you're
that.
practicing commands, no, nah, I would suggest you to stick to, because especially for bash and scripting and so on, that is still useful, right? For Jupyter, that is still useful for using, let's say, pip install and such things, right? Because you need to install dependencies and so on. So that is
Mhm.
still useful. But for practicing for Linux shell, I think if you stick to bash environment, that is
That
Father,
I
this
do.
code is not running. What is the issue? I don't know.
which one? This one is it? Calendar.
Yes.
Can you
So
check
it's
that
running.
once?
It's running, sir.
Should I put one after this month?
Where?
The year you haven't given.
Yeah, year has to be 2023. No, it is mentioned in the
No,
problem
no, no.
statement.
Karthik shared something and he
Yes.
didn't added the year.
I put 2023 also.
Mm-hmm.
dollar month text. This is the same. I don't know. I
So
tried
what it is
2023. I tried one.
so what it is saying, like what is the error that is coming up? Like should be there.
The first one has one at the end. It's like this one and arrow is there, which is not required. You can just have this one, thus the arrow. So it will just create the file.
It says error.txt.
Okay.
Correct.
It's like you can do
Yeah,
this as well.
must be some typographical error. Yeah. No, Punanda, you are having a backslash. No, why is that? Oh yeah.
No, no, no. I'm actually that's what a mistake.
Haha, okay, okay, fine. Yeah, this is correct. It's exactly matching as what I have written also. This is correct.
This one is not working for me.
Oh, okay, okay. Can you share your
This
screen,
should
Karthik? Is
also work.
possible? Or the terminal? Maybe. Let's
Yeah,
quickly
I'll
share.
just quickly share.
Hmm.
So I have a doubt. Can I ask?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, do we have any commands to see the variables created by us? All the variables?
Ah, okay, good question. If you use set,
History C.
uh, if you use
History
set
has
also, so then it'll have history is having commands also, no, Pranandu?
Mm-hmm.
But
You can do
he
like
is specifically asking
history.
about the variables.
Okay.
So if you do set, then it gives you all the things which are available, but it'll give you other things also. Um, and same for export. Uh, but
So, sir, only
for
history is the way to see the variables.
yeah, if you do history, then it will show you all the
It will
commands
show
that
all the commands that you used, and there is command, I think, history hyphen clear or C, that will clear your entire history. The
that is
command
also having commands, not the variables alone. So for that, you have to use
variables, so we can use unset, right?
to remove the variables, right? Yeah, but to see it, you have to use set only. Set only gives you that. Or there's one more thing you can do. You can do declare p, declare minus p. So that will give you the, uh, you know, that will give you whatever is set. So for example, if I say declare minus p, yeah, it also gives me. So for example, b I had set it to 20, no? So it
So
shows up
the
there.
screen is freezed or what? It's like,
Can you? Is the screen not
no,
working?
no, it is not. Actually, it is just stuck at calendar.sh.
No, this is
Oh, this is
my
from Karthikeyan,
screen.
I think. Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah. Can you? Yes, month is there. 2023 month error. That is fine, right? Just save it and run it once.
Yes, I just say
Sir, one is missing there for a standard output.
No, one is not required, Punendu, right? If you don't give it, it is default by default taken as one. Can you do chmod u plus x on your script, Karthikeyan? I think that is what is missing. Chmod and the spelling of the calendar itself is wrong. Actually, should be calendar, no? A D A R in the script. The name of the
Name of the script is
uh, just do mv calendar.sh and then write the correct spelling. Press tab, it will take it. Yeah, very good. Now write the correct spelling. It should be CALENDAR.
what?
EN
CALEN
EAR.
DAR.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and try running eval again. Yeah, it passes. Okay, so that was the script. All right.
Sir, I was going
Can
through
you
this
stop sharing a
question.
screen, please, Karthikeyan? I just want to share that again.
Sir, I was going through this question,
Hmm.
and for PPA2, there is lot of means like in the code. I'm in the portal, and
Hmm.
there is already some code written in it which we can't modify.
Hmm.
But we
Hmm.
didn't use that in our script that we just wrote, right? So means like why it is given there?
Two reasons could be there. One is sometimes you need to. It is there because you need to use it. And since you've not used this, perhaps the reason might be that the approach that they wanted you to follow, you're not following that, so you've used a different approach, and therefore you did not use it. That is one. So maybe that some code is given there so that you could make use of it. That is one aspect. Whether you make use of it or not is a different question, but perhaps it is because of that. The other reason it is there is because of evaluation. So sometimes certain things are required, for the evaluation to work correctly. So therefore we have some, a prefixed code and so on and so forth, so that the evaluation works correctly. It might be that you are not supposed to use it as such, but it is there so that evaluation works correctly. That is okay. Is that okay, Punendu? All right, all right.
Yes, sir.
All right, fine, fine. So yeah, I think that is done. Since we're already on it, we'll quickly go to. Let us just see at least up until 5.5, right? So that we all could continue from there onwards. At least we can see the problem statements, right? If this is very easy to solve, we can quickly do that. Synchro show. Okay, okay. This is again regarding grep. Okay, print the number of failed login attempts. Okay, so yeah, failed login attempts will be just that you grep on the failed login basically, this one, and print the count for it. This is very easy to do. So failed.sh has to have it. I think I need to do synchro init to get the you have to have the file, right? Where's the file? My auth.log is not here. Located in the current working directory. It's not there, right? We are assuming it is there, I think, because it is not there. If I do synchron, it is not there. Maybe it'll be there when we evaluate it. So without seeing, we have to write the code, but that's okay. Or I can just copy this and save it as a file. So assume that okay, but then again I have to remove the line numbers as well. Okay, so it's not there. But the idea is maybe I can copy it from there. Let me check. PPA 5.3 has to have it, right? Otherwise, okay. Yeah, the input itself is the auth file, no? Yeah, this one. So this is the auth file, which is having this. I just copied it because I wanted to show you interactively, but we'll assume it is there and just write the code for it. So what happens is I'm going to cat and then grep on failed login. That is because for every failed login, it'll show
Sir,
you
are
that.
you short question BPA 5.3?
Yeah, PPA 5.3 only. So let's say if I grep for it, it shows you that right, 7 should be the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. So 7 is the count for it, and if I say minus c, it'll give me the count. So I just cat on the input and grep minus c on the failed login. In fact, I need not even cat. I can just say grep minus c failed login and give the file like this. So input. But it's not supposed to be input, okay? In the synchro show, if you see, the name of the file is this, my auth, my auth, auth, that is log file. Copy the name. Maybe I can move input to this so that, yeah. So the command then becomes grep failed login, because that's the string you get for every failed login attempt in the log file, right? And my auth, so it'll give you the matches, but you need the count only. So you do minus c on grep. So you get the count. This is what we need to write in a script called fail.sh. Script name is fail. Just copy this part and again bin bash. This is it. Is that okay? Up until now it's fine. No issues there, I think.
So do we need to redirect the output to some file?
Good question. Let me see. Content is given there. and then write your command in the file called field.sh. That's okay. 7 will be the output that is coming up. Your script will not receive any input from the standard input or command. No input is there. The output should be to the standard output. So means no redirection. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So chmod, it's always a good idea to do chmod a plus x regardless of whether it is asked or not. Okay. Synchro eval passes. The only one test case, the file itself, we checked it.
Sir, can you
Okay.
please show the code file
Uh-huh.
fail.sh?
Yes. C gives the count. Okay. Rest of it is very easy to understand. I've just given the pattern as field login in the file myout.log.
Okay, sir.
All right. Fine. Okay, then maybe couple of more minutes we can continue. So BF 5.4 is there. Synchro show. Okay. This one is again also similar thing. So uname minus a, the command, it gives you the specification, right? So Linux and so on and so forth, the host name, the kernel version, the build date, and so on and so forth, right? And the architecture, machine, and so on. So it says x86-64, GNU Linux, and so on. So it is asking us to extract the system's processor architecture, okay, from the output of uname minus a. So if you want to do it with grep, you can, but the thing is you have to figure out which, or you can use cut also, right? You have to figure out which of the columns is having the architecture. That is one. And like this, it'll extract. So this is the architecture, right? So I mean, these three are the same, but some cases it might be different. So you have to figure out which is the exact column which we need from which we need to extract it. So for that, you can check uname's help, right? It'll show you that. So what we need is systems processor architecture, right? So you have this processor P, processor type. Will give you that. So if you say, in this case, you need not even extract it because if you know that, it directly gives you that, right?
No,
So
but it
uname.
says uname hyphen a, from there we have to extract the statement, problem statement.
Yeah, I mean the effect is same. Uname minus a gives everything. If you do give uname minus p, it will give you that only. But it's supposed to be exercise on
No, no.
extracting
The
information.
problem statement says
Mhm.
write a command to extract the system processor architecture from the output of uname minus a.
Yeah. So this is the output of uname minus a. If you use grep on that or any other method, like for example cut, we can extract from it also, right? But the thing is, I understand that we have to extract it. So, but then if you give minus p, just I'm saying that. So that also gives you the same output because that is the process architecture from here. But if you want to do it as exercise, then you can do it using cut also. So we have to figure out which one is the process architecture. So assuming that you are starting with this, right? S is kernel name, yeah, Linux, and then we have in this particular order, in the following order, right? In the following order. So kernel name, then node name, then kernel release. This is kernel name. This is node name. Node name is SE2001. And then kernel release is R, this one. Up until this point is the version. R is that. V is the kernel version. Okay, including up until the date itself. So this part is what you have, right? This thing. Okay, so but if you cut using space, then that'll be a problem because you have spaces in other places also. That's okay, and we'll
Sir,
we'll
we
figure out a
can
way to.
do cut like this space.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way to do that. Then we have machine. And just let me see the order. Machine also is machine hardware name, but we need the process architecture, right? So and the hardware platform is MP, and then you have the hardware platform, and then the operating system. So what we can do instead of matching from the front, because you have spaces, so if you cut, it'll cut it in a different way. Maybe we can match it from the back. That's also one way of doing it, right? What we will do is we will say uh, we can still cut it and then match it from the back, right? That might be possible.
And so we can also
because
know union minus P. That will also give the
yeah,
process.
yeah, that's what I mentioned in the beginning itself. Yeah, union minus p itself gives you that, so you need not extract as such. But since the problem statement explicitly asks us to extract it from there, you have to use grep to figure that out. Okay. So one other way is, mm, yeah, this is also fine. The other way is to, if you know beforehand what kind of architectures could be there, you can just search for it and give that. If it matches, then you give that. If it does not match, then you give nothing. That is also one way. The other way is to use cut, or uname minus p itself gives you that, right? So that is the only problem is with the kernel version. So this is having multiple spaces, and you have to skip it altogether, right? So if I use cut, then that will not work the way we want it to be. I mean, if you want to do that, then you can do that also. The thing is, uname's output will be constant, right, throughout, at least for a specific system, unless it is upgraded or something like that. It will remain the same. So since it is already static, you can just take it once and then you cut and then figure out which field it is. So for example, if the delimiter is space, right, and I want to get the first field, so this comes. Second field is this, third field is this, and so on and so forth. Fourth field is this, fifth is this, sixth is, then you have Monday and so on, December 9th. So you can figure out like this also. Okay, this is a blank space at 8. 9 is this, 10 you have the time, 12 is 2024. So 13 then will be okay, what was the order? Yeah, 13 is machine, I think. So you need to get the 14th column. 14th column is process architecture. So that way you can do uname minus a, and then I'm cutting on that, because this is going to be constant, right? So once I figure out which field it is, I just give that and it'll work. That is one way. Or the other way is to just give uname minus p. Either of them
But
will
the
work.
minus F13 is also works.
No, 13 gives you. So 13 is, yeah, I understand. In this case, it is matching. Uh, but 13 is the machine hardware name. It could be different also in different machines. Since we need to give a general command, it will specifically figure out the processor type, right? Processor architecture. So then you have to
Yeah, I
give select
understand,
that
but
column.
I
Huh.
checked by the synchro eval and it also pass.
Certainly, because in this case it is matching, right? Synchro eval just matches the test cases. So how could we differentiate between whether you picked it from field 14 or field 13? Right? Output is same. So it'll certainly pass. Okay. Uh, so that's it. What else it was asking? Okay, so we have to put it there, right? So assume that I want to get the 14th field, and what is the name? Architecture, right? This one. Bin bash or uname minus p itself. Either way it works. And then just do chmod u plus x architecture synchro eval. So this passes certainly, because at that field you have it. But here we are able to guess the name, the field number, because of the fact that this is not going to change for this particular system at least, right? In cases where we don't know the exact number of columns and where you have to cut it, it's slightly difficult to do that.
Sir, is
Okay,
this the
so
last question for today?
yeah, I think so. So maybe a 5.5 onwards will continue in the next one. I think half of it is done. No, if you see,
Yes, sir. Only 7 is there.
um, if you see that, yeah. So PB bundle 5.7 is there. Okay, so 5.5, 5.6, 5.7, three of them we'll do, and then we'll continue on, because practice is having multiple questions, right? Practice 5.1 up until practice 1.0. So rather practice 5.10. So this we will continue in the next one. Okay. Let me see for this one also 5.5 once. What is there? If you could at least finish this, it'll be nice. Okay, so then print the users one on each line who are logged in successfully. So this thing, right? Session opened. comes up in the log file. This is a system log file, so it happens. This comes up whenever session successful login happens, right? For user, right? So then you can just filter on that. Say session opened for whatever the user is, uh, for user up until this point. Okay, and then you take the user name, or you can take this one also, new session C2 of user, and after that you take it. So that'll have the username. If you want to remove the dot, you can use translate to remove the dot and just give the name. And then so you can have multiple attempts, right, wherein some of them will be successful, multiple times it is logged in. So then you use the unique command to get only the unique output, unique usernames. Okay, so quick way to show would be to synchro init have it, or what? Okay, I need to copy that. Is that the same file, or it's the
Which
same thing?
what is the filter we have to give?
For session opened or new session.
Session opened. Okay.
Yeah, either of the two will work, right? Session new session or of user or session open.
No, from there the username, because it's asking for username.
Username. Yeah, exactly. So you give pattern like this, and then you get only the
Now, if it
username.
is a new session, what is the username you say?
This one, user GDM, the last part.
Is new session C2 of user GDM.
Hmm.
A session open for user GDM. No, it is user GDM is the username, or GDM is the username?
GDM is the username. User is part of the string.
Okay. Okay. So GDM.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So accordingly, we'll match. So for example, it says session
Sir,
closed
how
for
do
user
we
guest 2.
report that the user is successfully logged in?
Because session will only open if it is successful login, right? New
So
session. Otherwise, it will fail.
we need to grab on the basis of new session and the session
New
open.
session. Yeah. Exactly. New session is there, so you grab based on that. So let me in fact show you. The thing is, this auth file is different. Let me see if I can copy this. So PPA 5.5. Sorry, this is the input file, right? Yeah. Clear. Okay. So for example, I can grep for a new session. For or new session. New session. Right. So it comes up now. Now I can just cut it with space being the delimiter. So now what will happen is new is one, session is this one. So I can just check it, right? F1, F2, F3, F4. Okay, it's taking it from here. So maybe it's better to use output, right? Only output. So -O you will give. After this, anything multiple times, right? Not. Okay, no, we are not supposed to cut just right. Okay, so after it, yeah. So it takes it up until the end, right? Only this part. Now I know what to cut. So delimiter is space. Field is going to be, let's say, F3 is this. 4 is going to be off. 5 is user. Say F6. Because this format is always going to be same, right? The last part is this. So new session is of course we know this code will be there. Off will be there. User will be there. So F6 we can cut on. Right, we get this now. We can replace dot with we can remove the dot, right, using dd. Yeah, so that's done. And not only this.
And after this also we can cut with the delimiter with the dot.
But I've used translate.
Okay.
You're seeing
And
this,
sir,
right?
we
The
need
last
to
one.
only the grep using the new session or session opened also.
Either of the two will work, because see, it is asking us to give all the unique users who are able to successfully log in, right? So we can either, because we are interested in the user name only, right? So whether it be new session or session open, for whatever user it is successfully, will take it, right? So either way you can match. I've used new session, so accordingly you have to modify it, right? If you are using the other string, then not only this. So what happens is, new session happens for the user guest twice, right? Because it might be that he or she logged in twice, right? So one time the session, and then he or she might have logged out from the system, right? And again, because this is a log, so it stores everything, right? So it might be that he or she logged in once and that was successful, and then they worked on it and then they logged off, then they logged in again, so then a new session opened up, right? But the question says you have to check only unique logins, right? So if you see quickly this part, right? Use unique command to get all distinct lines of the output, right? So it says print the users one on each line who are logged in successfully at least once, and that is what it is. So then we'll use the unique command to only get the username. So if you see in the output also, we have this GDM guest 2 and student. So now I am removing the dot and I can just do unique. Okay, why is unique not working? T is okay, right?
So you probably need to sort them.
Okay, yeah, sort is necessary. Okay. Yeah, we first sort it and then only unique will. Okay, makes sense, because it just checks the adjacent lines. Okay, so we first sort it and then we do unique, so it gives you that. But then I just want to match with this output also. Student is at the end, is it? Okay, GDM guest 2 and student. So we are getting the same thing, right? GDM guest 2 and student. Yeah. So this is your command, and I'm going to copy this. Will be in a script.
So what will be minus O will do in the graph?
Yeah, I'll let you know. So login.sh. Yeah, just let me just create it first. After this, I'll mention about that also. So bin bash. Oh, why I'm doing it is because, just give me one moment. T plus x. Uh, oops, not show eval. It should be. Input says no such file or directory. Did I mistakenly do mv? Oops, sorry about that. Earlier, did I move it or what? But I should not have been able to move. I only copied, right? Import.txt, it says it is not.
Is it?
For some reason, it says not there in the. But it
What
is
is the
there, right?
.sh file name?
In the command, in the script, you have written the input.sh. It should not be there.
Okay. It is already there in the test case, right? Yeah. Okay, test case has input and output anyway. Makes sense. So I'll just remove not a script. Our script should be named login.sh. Okay, makes sense. So this is my out
But still, it is not working.
dot log. No, you should not remove it. You should give this file. Okay. Yeah, it passes. Yeah, so two questions were there, I think. What was the previous question? One question is regarding why we are using minus O in grep, that is one. And the other question was
Yes.
also there. Any other question?
So can you please show the login.sh file?
Yeah. So this part I'll explain why I'm using O here. Uh, but other things are hopefully okay. Okay, so I'm assuming it's fine. Now minus O I'm doing because if you see, if you do grep, is input still there or did I? Okay, just give me one moment. I have to take that. Um, yeah. So if I do grep uh, new session on the input file as I was doing earlier, so remove this part. Only I'll explain why minus O is necessary. So remember that grep is matching on the line, right? So line starts with the timestamp. Then you have the host name and so on and so forth. The program which is printing that message and so on and so forth. The message comes here. If I don't do that, then if I do cut, right, then if I use the space as the delimiter, then the fields are different, right? So start from here because it is cutting the line. So I have Jan 20 and so on and so forth. But I am only interested in this part of it, right? And this is more or less constant. It's not also changing. Because the format we know, we are aware of the format, right? So it will always be new session, then some hexadecimal number. After that, of user, and then the last part is the username. So we are aware of the format, but regardless, here the things might change, right? The timestamp might change and so on and so forth. So because anyway we can discard the other portion. Therefore, I've said O so that it doesn't print the entire line where the match happened. Rather, it will just print the output. So that's the difference. Without O, you are going to get the entire line. Only the portion where the match is happening, it will be highlighted. If you do minus O, it will just give you the output. Now, once I do that, and then on top of it, I do cut, then I know how many fields are there. Clearly, it is much more clear where I need, I mean, how many times I need to move forward. So, for example, if I give delimiter a space, then I know that the sixth field is the username. And I have the dot, so after that, I have translated it to, I'm basically deleted that from there like this. So I get the usernames. Is that okay? Okay. So yeah, with this we'll close from 5.5 onwards. We'll discuss in the next one. Is there anything else that you'd like to ask, or shall we close?
Thank you, sir.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So thanks a lot, sir.